small one-bedroom apartment. Earlier this week, I was called into work to help fix some coding problems, and I ended up getting home around 1 a.m. Opening my door, I walked in to see a bowl of popcorn sitting on my couch. My next steps are for the umbrella leaned against the wall to my left. It was the closest object I could find to arm myself with as I proceeded to look under furniture, my bedroom, tear down the coats in the closet to see if anyone was hiding behind them, even tore down the shower curtain, all while holding this small umbrella with a death grip. Again, I live alone and was gone all evening. Seeing a bowl of freshly popped popcorn left me more than a little shaken. The apartment didn't smell of any unfamiliar odors. It didn't even smell like popcorn had been popped. Walking back to the couch, I slowly picked up the bowl and inspected it. It was my bowl, and the discarded wrapper led me to believe that it was my Orville popcorn, which I'd just recently purchased. The popcorn was still warm, but had absolutely no scent. I was at a complete loss for words. My Ring doorbell had never sent me a notification during the day, nor was there anything out of the ordinary on the recordings I viewed. I dumped the popcorn into my garbage can, and then I sat back on the couch, trying to figure out how this could have happened. My next sinking thought was that maybe I had done it and forgotten about it, like really forgotten about it. Even though it was warm and I hadn't been home all day, maybe there was a carbon monoxide leak in my apartment. No, that was my next inspection. Everything was fine. Sitting back on the couch, defeated and angry at my confusion, it's almost 3 a.m. and I'm gonna play some Xbox and go to sleep. Reaching for the controller, I notice it's not in its usual port. I swore I left it charging before I went into work. I scour the place, but don't spend too much time because I'm exhausted. So I chalk it up to another action performed mindlessly by me. The TV remote is next to me, so I switch it on, but instantly turn it back off, because right next to me I hear, "Yo, what?" Too close to be mistaken for my neighbor talking through the walls, not to mention it was nearly 3 o'clock in the morning. Odds were I was the only one awake in my unit. I jumped right off the couch, ran to my bedroom, and slammed the door. I hear what I think is my front door opening and slamming shut. Honestly, I didn't even go out to investigate. I just locked my bedroom door from the inside and tried to fall asleep. This was too much, and if all of these oddities somehow did turn out to be a burglar, congratulations, you can have my shit. I was all done for the night. It was time to shut down, reducing the risks of the growing sense of dread evolving into unhinged hysterics. The next morning, I woke up and I almost forgot about the terrors of the night before, until I found my Xbox controller on the counter in the bathroom. The position and placement of the controller, it seemed familiar, yet I don't know why. I have no recent memory of ever putting it there. This made the hairs on the back of my neck instantly rise again, and still in my pajamas, I decided to just leave for a while. I sit in a 7-Eleven parking lot for what seems like hours, long enough for the sun to fully rise from dawn. Seeing no other options, I drove back home. This time, entering through my door, nothing immediately had me on high alert. It was just the energy was different. After a couple of days, I was able to relax again. No harm, no foul. Just a weird anomaly I shouldn't waste any more time thinking about. The following week, I'm playing Sea of Thieves online with a buddy. My munchie urge begins to outweigh the strangeness I had previously felt about the popcorn incident. So, I hop up and I pop myself a bag. It still makes my stomach turn a little to see that there's a bag missing, reminding me just how real the strangeness indeed was. But I put it out of my mind, distracted by my game and hunger. I pop the bowl of popcorn and take it to the couch. Unlike the previous bowl of popcorn, this one fills my apartment with the thick, mouth-watering smell of buttered goodness. Back on the couch, I hop back on the game. My buddy's still not back from his snack retrieval, so I take this window of time to run to the bathroom before fully immersing myself into the world of plundering pirates with my crew. I toss the controller on the bathroom counter and take care of business. When I swing the bathroom door back open, the apartment is completely dark. Xbox is off, TV is off, and I'm terrified, practically reduced to a cower on the bathroom floor. This time, my weapon of choice was the retractable metal shower curtain rod. Held in front of me like a cheap lightsaber, I shuffled into the living room and flipped the lights back on. My front door was still locked and deadbolted. Nothing else seemed to be disturbed. That is until I made my way back over to the couch, and I noticed my bowl of popcorn was completely gone. Words of confusion audibly escaped my mouth. Yo, what? And in that moment, a gut-wrenching feeling deep down of a pungent familiarity that once tainted my mind takes over, and I realize that without even looking for the popcorn, I already knew where it was. I walked into the kitchen, and sure enough, just behind the aluminum trash lid, nearly at the bottom of the black bag, laid my popcorn, discarded amongst the collected rubbish of the day. The pit grows in my stomach, as if I'm approaching the peak of madness like a roller coaster's edge. Then, my bedroom door slams so hard it shakes the walls, and my roller coaster of emotion descends into freefall. I grab my keys and escape the squeezing feeling of terror that's compressed my lungs. I slept in my office that night. One of my coworkers found me sleeping on the couch, and they praised me for how hard I've been working on this project. I didn't bother correcting their assumptions. I also didn't bother confiding in anyone about what happened because, well, I don't even know how I should be approaching this. It's either like the most twisted case of déjà vu ever, or something. The other option is that it's something actually based in reality. Did a small burglar enter my house unnoticed and then decide not to take anything, but dump my popcorn for some reason? Is this paranormal? Who keeps wasting my popcorn, and why? I have a salt lamp in the shape of a moon that I love. I used to use it as a nightlight, but since the bulb blew out 7 or 8 months ago, it became just an ornament on my nightstand because I couldn't find the right bulb for it. And it's a pain because you have to pull the whole thing apart to replace it. I have one outlet with 2 plugs near my nightstand. It's above my bed near the pillow where I sleep. When the lamp stopped working, I unplugged it so that I wasn't wasting an outlet. I use those plugs to charge everything while I sleep. And I've plugged and unplugged multiple chargers from it almost daily in the last 8 months. The cord to the lamp just remained laying beside the nightstand, unplugged since it didn't work anymore. I recently took a surprise trip home to surprise my dad for Father's Day. The whole trip home, I kept having a super strange feeling like I wasn't supposed to be there, or that the last-minute impulsive choice to fly home was a choice I shouldn't have made. I don't know, it was weird. The whole trip felt like a dream. After a few days of visiting family, I flew back home, ate dinner, played with my dog, went to bed, woke up the next day, and went to work. All was fine and normal. It was only a 2-hour flight, so it's not like it completely exhausted me or turned me into a zombie. I'd gone to bed at my normal time. That night, after my first day home, I do my same routine, but when I shut my bedroom light off, I noticed that the moon lamp is glowing. I was so confused, I turned my light back on, and I noticed that it was plugged into the outlet above my pillow. The only people who have access to my house are my sister and my boyfriend, who both acted completely confused about why the hell I was asking them if they replaced a bulb and plugged in a random lamp, and they swear it wasn't them. The thing is, it wasn't lit up the previous night when I got back from my trip. It lights up my whole room, so I would have noticed immediately, which means it had somehow been fixed and plugged into the wall and switched on that day. Nobody was at my house while I was at work. My door was locked, and I highly doubt anyone would risk bothering my very territorial pit just to secretly replace a bulb and plug in a random lamp on my nightstand. So, was this a glitch or what? Creepy as fuck, and I can't stop thinking about it. But there's more that I can't stop thinking about. Because like 8 months ago, a feral kitten got dropped off at my house by the mama. Mama never came back. The kitten was adorable, but very scared. It made a home under my shed, and I've fed him every day since. It took 6 or 7 months for him to trust me enough to let me touch him. He's gorgeous, long-haired. When he started allowing me to pet him, I noticed his hair was very matted down his legs and under his belly. I called around, and no groomer would see him without shots and sedation, which required a vet visit. In total, it was going to cost me $400. We don't have any local feral cat programs. They're all over an hour away, and none of them could or would help. I tried to cut the mats out myself with scissors, but was unsuccessful. It was like trying to cut through carpet, a carpet with sharp claws and an attitude. So I made him an appointment. The day of his appointment, I tried unsuccessfully to catch him, and I had to cancel it at the last minute. I was trying to figure out some other options, but I had that trip home planned for the next day to visit my dad, and I decided that he would just have to wait. So I went home to my family's for like 3 days, and as I said, the whole time I was feeling off, like I wasn't supposed to be there. It was a very weird feeling. Not in a bad way feeling, but just this trip wasn't supposed to happen, neutral sort of feeling. I got back from my trip, then the incident with the lamp. Well then, a few days after, I was sitting outside when the kitten came out for dinner. Immediately, I noticed he had been groomed. And not just hacked with scissors, but professionally groomed. All of his matting is gone, his head and neck cleaned up. I could chalk it up to a random good Samaritan, if only I had neighbors. I'm in the middle of nowhere. This cat is at my house 24/7. He is here, always. There's tons of strays in our county, and they're genuinely viewed as a nuisance. There's just no way he befriended somebody else who would be crazy enough to spend $400 on an insane feral cat, only to release him back into the wild. And what are the chances that they do this within days of me having an appointment to get it done? I've kept a close eye on him since, and still, I've yet to see him wander. This, coupled with the mysterious lamp, I truly believe something happened on that trip to jump me into a new timeline. Perhaps it was one where I was able to catch the feral cat for his appointment to be groomed, and one where I also repaired my lamp.